Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world. With the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author and Golf Channel's Matt Adams.
And welcome into day 2 of the 2022 PGA Show. Matt Adams here with you. I'm absolutely delighted to have your company, and I know people are watching us from all over the world and listening to us as well on the audio side, the digital radio side. We've got an absolutely packed show for you today, and you could probably see all of this great clothes that I have spread out before me. Scott Morrison is here with me. He's the founder of Radmore Golf. And Scott, you brought an array. You decided what to bring, although this shirt caught my eye. I think this thing is absolutely killer gorgeous. Which model is this, by the way?
That's called a Colby, and it's basically a Mandarin collar. We've updated it. It's got natural shell buttons, but it's hidden, and we've got this kind of really retro varsity stripe. Yeah, it's one of our favorites for sure.
I love that you did a modern collar. I love the material.
Yeah.
What'd you call this, Pima Cotton?
So this is Pima Cotton.
Pima.
Okay. So Pima Cotton is basically an extra long staple cotton. So it's the nicest quality cotton you can source. It only grows in a couple places in the world. Arizona and California have a little bit of it, and then Peru. So we source ours in Peru. And it's, a natural fiber, which is terrific. Reduces the impact of, plastic waste and all those other things that we're dealing with in landfills. And our entire range is based on having natural fibers wherever we possibly can. And if we need to do some kind of a synthetic fiber, it's recycled. What is Radmore? Why did you start it? We started it really because we couldn't find a non-polyester based golf product that we really liked. I've been playing golf my whole life, and have been
college golf.
Yeah, college golf at the University of Washington. My business partner and I were roommates and both played on the college golf team. And I've been in the denim business for the last, almost 25 years. We started spending a lot of time more focusing on sustainability. It wasn't really happening the way that it has been happening in the rest of fashion in the golf community. And so we thought there was a really interesting opportunity to talk about natural fibers, sustainability, giving consumers a different choice.
Beautiful. If people wanted to embroider this in their particular shops, are you
100%.
Sourcing that for them, or do you send it to them?
So we have an embroidery house we use. We're based in Seattle, like you said. We work with an embroidery house that's been doing it for 30 years for golf brands, and they're fantastic.
Tell me about this one.
Yeah, so again, this is the Pima Performance, so it's basically 95% Pima cotton and a little bit of elastane, a little bit of stretch. We use natural shell buttons, so in a landfill setting, those things, it's biomass, it goes right back into nature. This is what we call a vintage ombre stripe. A little bit of a contrast, pop spread collar.
I love this.
Great.
I love it. Yeah. To my eye, it looks fresh. It looks young.
Yeah, we love it. There's also another detail on the back. So this ball cup logo is a little bit more of our refined logo. We do two kind of logo types. We do this really fun character that I'm wearing. Yeah. And then this is stuff that the green grass community probably gravitates a little bit more to, especially if it's more traditional.
Okay, love it. What else did you bring?
So we brought a couple different options. We do two really incredible materials for a short. So this is BCI, which is Better Cotton Initiative, organic cotton with a little bit of elastane. So it's got a little bit of stretch. Okay. It's a really beautiful lightweight twill, wears incredibly well. And again, cotton today, especially if you're using Pima cottons or BCI organic cottons, it's not the cotton that we grew up on, 30 years ago that was, short staple and really cheap. So there's a lot more of a refinement to the way it feels and looks and wears and performs.
It feels great.
And this one is our knit pant. This is, it's like a sweat pant. It's one. People freak out when they feel this, and it's one of the best wearing materials I've ever had. So
just pure comfort.
It's just pure comfort, but it holds up incredibly well. It doesn't look like you're wearing a sweatpant. Obviously, if you're wearing it, you wear it to the course, you wear it to a restaurant, whatever you want. It's incredible.
So what are you doing in terms of your styles, your inspirations, your designs?
So typically the way we've looked at it, and maybe it's me coming out of I've not been in the golf business before. We're relatively new to the golf business, although we played golf our whole life. We've probably looked more to Europe and European fashion community and what they're doing. So we typically try and stay away from your more traditional, bright primary colors that have kind of been embraced by the golf community for so long. Sorry, babe. And we try and do a little bit of an alternative approach. So more earth tones, more neutrals, things that we feel like resonate with us, but you'd want to wear it on the course and feel totally comfortable wearing it off the course.
Where do you think, Scott, as we're watching video, I assume this is just like promotional videos you guys put together?
I don't even know where you got this one, but yeah, that looks like a promo video. Yeah.
There's all your great looking stuff. Where do you, I mean, you kind of answered this in various ways,
Sure.
but I'm curious directly, where do you see yourself fitting in the golf industry?
So, I mean, it's a great question. I don't know if I have the answer yet, but I think there's the emergence of a younger demographic into the sport of golf who understand at least what sustainability represents, and that's kind of the future. I think it's, we're still making a pretty expensive product. It's a $100 golf shirt, so it's not necessarily for everyone, but at the same time, I think there's this amazing opportunity in that world of the Graysons and the Travis Matthews and the Link Souls and guys who are wanting to have a little bit more fun, enjoy the lifestyle, but not take it so seriously.
Yeah, and when you used your slogan, for the long game, is that relative to sustainability and also
100%.
This younger demographic, kind of all of it merging
100%.
together?
So what's really interesting is if you take a step out of the golf industry and you look at the fashion industry as a whole, where I came from,
Yep.
Sustainability has been something we've been talking about for the last decade. And it's something that Gap, Nike, Levi's, everyone signed up to these massive initiatives. But the golf community is not on that same train yet. And so I think they're a little bit slower to react and a little bit slower to get on board. And I understand why, but I think there's a real opportunity, especially if you're talking to that younger demographic, to really get them engaged. And so there's going to be a product that will match what they want and what they've been growing up now for the last 10 or 15 years hearing a lot about. And it will be, I think, something that will be a game changer for the whole community.
It's exciting for those of us in the golf industry to see new companies coming out, new fresh ideas coming in, regardless of the segment, particularly in apparel. So for you to just be starting out an introduction like this, I have to imagine that in your mind, because you mentioned, like, say, for example, a Peter Millar, in your mind, you've got to see yourself getting to a place where you continue to expand options and get into different niches in the game, whether we're talking about clothing, jackets, shoes, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest challenges for us is being outsiders coming into the game. Like, we've been wonderfully matched with a really great equity partner I think I told you about, who's done an amazing job in sourcing over the last 30 years. So the quality of the product's there. Our biggest challenge right now is just getting it out to the green grass community. We're lucky enough to have like Nordstrom and Saks Fifth Avenue as retail partners, but really getting it into the green grass community has been our biggest challenge.
And then that challenge has to be augmented by the fact that you get in there and they need to hear your message. They need to know who you are in the clutter.
Yeah, and candidly, we've had the success we've had in green grass has really been saying, hey, if you got 10 or 12 great brands in your shop, let's have one that represents a more sustainable story, and let's teach you about that. And we're actually
Plus
right now,
incredible comfort and great fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to win on the basic premise of it's a beautiful product.
Yeah,
it fits
does somebody want to wear it?
Yeah, of course. But there needs to be some sustainability messaging to it too, which is nice. One of the things that's really funny, a lot of people don't know, is when you look at all the product, every product comes with a hang tag, and the hang tag is actually recycled paper, but it folds into a putting cup to practice on your carpet at home.
Oh, come on, that's awesome.
So it's not just a throwaway hang tag.
That hole doesn't look big enough for a golf ball.
It's not, it's a tough putt, let me tell you. But it's, we're trying to think through all the product components. Even the labels, the interior labels are recycled. So I think there's a way to do it. It's not always the cheapest, and it certainly requires a little bit of messaging.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, we are too.
You're all in.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for believing in the golf industry and bringing us some fun and some new fashion at that. We will be bringing you guys much more from the 2022 PGA Show coming up after this.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. Ireland is home to over 400 courses, including a third of the world's natural links and a selection of exceptional championship courses in amazing locations, as well as hosting the prestigious Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup, and the Open. Experience golf like you never have before from Royal Portrush, Royal County Down, Portmarnock, Lahinch, Ballybunion, or Tralee. Let yourself be embraced by the culture and history and feel the warmth of the Irish people, who will make you feel as though you have not left home, but returned to it. For more information, log on to Ireland.com. The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf. Nestled amongst the hills of the Hoosier National Forest resides a classic American destination, the French Lick Resort. Experience the ultimate in golf at the Pete Dye course at French Lick, voted #1 course in Indiana on Golfweek's Best You Can Play for 10 years in a row. The Donald Ross course at French Lick has been named Indiana's #2 course in Golfweek's Best You Can Play rankings every year since 2011. Come experience old world opulence amid modern comfort, served with Midwestern charm. Visit FrenchLick.com. Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period. Welcome back to the 2022 PGA Show. I am joined by my friend Paul Eales. He is a winner on the European Tour. He's playing on the Legends Tour there right now. He's also a member of the board of the European Tour. Ealesy, how are you? It's good to see you.
I'm in great shape, Matty. Thanks. It's always nice to come to the PGA Show and to meet up with you again, catch up what's going on. It's been a while.
What is going on is it's not as big as it used to, but it's still the largest golf exhibition in the world. Have you had a chance to kind of check out bits here and there? What have you liked so far?
I've been looking at the training aids and all the equipment. Obviously the manufacturers aren't here, so the new product, we haven't been able to see that, but there's so much to see. And the apparel, I could see myself in some of those.
Some really nice stuff.
Some really nice gear, isn't there?
Nice. We just had a gent on from Radmore Golf, brand new in the golf industry, new, young styles, a lot of European style design driven, and I'm excited to see it. I've always said the same thing, Paul, that to me, the language of commerce in this room, in this show, is hope, right? There's so many people here that what they're really selling is a dream.
Yeah.
And so many fresh ideas. I think that's good for the game. What do you think?
It is, and I think the pandemic has been good for the game. We've noticed it back in the UK. Tee times now are of a premium, and we've seen, not that it's been a blessing on the European Tour, the DP World now, things are starting to grow, and there have been game changers since the pandemic when we thought, oh my goodness, this is the end of the end, and suddenly things have changed for the good.
Legends Tour, as I mentioned, is the tour that you're playing on currently. Could you tell, that in case there's some in the audience in the United States that are watching that are unfamiliar with Legends Tour, who you are and what you're doing?
Well, we were the old senior tour, so senior tour players over 50, and now it's been changed into it's a pro-am format, an alliance. So we've got the pro playing with the amateur, we play off the same tees, they have their competition, we have our competition, we have great fun, dinners every evening, and it's a really nice tour to hang out. So anybody that wants to experience some of the great courses in Europe as well, because we're playing on some top courses over there and meeting some of the legends of the game. Paul Lawrie plays, Paul McGinley plays, Thomas Bjorn plays, some names that the American audience would be familiar with.
Woozy, I think, is still...
Woozy plays,
as well. So it's a pretty good representation with that as well. Let's, while we have Paul here, let's take a look at what's happening in Dubai and see where the status is on that leaderboard. I know play was suspended because of darkness, so they weren't able to complete the round, but let's take a look at that leaderboard for what's happening on the DP World Tour as he placed it right between us perfectly, Andrew. Joachim Hanson leading at 7 under par. What can you tell us about him?
He's had a good finish to last season, and he's continued his form into the desert there. So he's doing really well. Justin Harding down in South Africa, he was winning loads down there. And then, of course, you get to Larathabal, who's been up and down with his career. Hopefully this is a sign of him coming back. Sergio, everybody knows about. Tommy Fleetwood, we know Tommy. We've watched him at many Opens, commentating on him, Maddie.
Tommy Ladd.
And the disappointing name missing from there for me is Rory Mcilroy.
I'm not from, because we've been on air for so long. I don't even know where Rory stands.
I think Rory finished 1 under. He played early and he finished 1 under, so he's still there or thereabouts.
Morikawa, did you hear by any chance?
I think he's on there at -4, so he's going along nicely.
Oh, there he is. Yep, I see it on the leaderboard at -4. For those of you on the radio side, as we tell you what's happening on the leaderboard before is on the TV side as well. So at least he seems to be finding some form. To that point, I know coming in last week, Rory had all new clubs in the bag. Every club in the bag was brand new. Is there an adjustment period even today with the way that they can dial in so much?
Sure there is. I mean, he's got all these numbers, the manufacturers have got the numbers, but it's just him just feeling his way in, so he's got the confidence to know when he's got a club, it's a 7-iron, I'm going to fly this just short of 200 yards, and he knows it's going to happen. So it will take him a little time. And on the range is very different, as we know, to playing on the golf course. Everybody in the game experiences that. Great swings on the practice ground, get to the course, where's my swing gone? We all lose it, don't we? So, but it's good to see that the tournament's a new sponsor this year over there in Dubai.
Yes.
And so that's all good for the DP World, which has taken over. It's called the DP World Tour, but it's still the European Tour. It's funny how it's the competition side that sits underneath the brand of the European Tour. So it's all part of the big family European Tour productions you know of as well. So it's the ever-changing world.
If you had changed it to World Tour 10 years ago, it still would have been apropos. The fact that it's DP World Tour because you have this major sponsor, that's okay. That's the way of modern sport.
Yeah, and you think about it, I think there's 27 out of the 47 events were played outside of Europe last season on the European Tour. So it's kind of a better title for the tour. DP World.
I do think it's a better title. Now, Ilse, you were talking about kind of the virtues of this show because we're back again, which is wonderful that we're able to meet as an industry once again. And it is smaller than what it was pre-pandemic, and it'll grow again once we get on the other side of it. However, and you talked about the round surging around on the amateur game around the world. However, I want to talk to you about the professional game as well, and throw a wide net at you in this regard, Paul, in terms of what are you excited about in 2022 in terms of the global competition? It can be men's, ladies, just the stars. I mean, we had a leaderboard on there with some pretty big names.
Well, I think it's a strategic alliance with the European Tour and the PGA Tour is now
3 events, right?
Bringing everything together, and so we as sports fans are going to see the best players playing together more often around the world and not just in the US as it used to be. So I'm excited about that, to see the great stars from over here in America playing with the young up and coming stars in Europe. And of course the Ryder Cup last time was a huge shock for us as Europeans to have a record defeat, and it was the perfect storm for Steve Stricker's team, but we kind of don't want that to happen again on our side of the pond.
And to that point, whether we're talking about the European side of the Ryder Cup or the American side of the Ryder Cup and their respective reactions, win or lose, it always seems to be, in fairness as an observer, a little bit of an overreaction. How much are you sensing on the European side right now? Is there a sense of panic?
There's no sense of panic, just disappointment, huge disappointment that a good team went over, was well prepared by Friedrich, and they got hammered. And so when you see it from a commercial point of view with the TV numbers dropping, then there's an issue there. We need it to be competitive. As you look at the Solheim Cup, what an event that was. That was a sensational viewing, wasn't it, for all golf spectators. And so that's kind of what the Ryder Cup needs every 2 years.
And the Irish, Leona Maguire, the woman from Ireland, going 5-0 was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear from Billy Horschel as Billy finished atop the leaderboard this week out at Torrey Pines after round 1. And we're going to take that sound into break with us. And Billy made a nice little commitment to what's now called the DP World Tour at the end of the season playing in Europe. That was pretty cool to see.
It was fantastic, and winning the flagship event, as they call it, the BMW round Wentworth, was sensational. He's got his West Ham United golf bag.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a football team back there that he supports for some reason or other. I'm not really sure, but it's great to see him over there, and he was a huge hit with the fans.
That's really
huge
cool.
Hit.
Very cool. A couple Liverpool fans right here. So Billy started out at top the leaderboard on the mark of 9 under par. So let's find out what Billy had to say. Thanks for joining us, Paul.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so I slept bad coming back from Hawaii from Sony Open, what is that, 10 days ago. And I've been dealing with it all last week, and my physio was home, Brian Smith, and we did some work last week, felt pretty good. Flew out here Saturday, practiced Sunday, felt okay, and then after my practice on Monday, or during my practice Monday, it just felt like it was locking back up a little bit, and we've been working on it for 2 days straight. I mean, needling, everything you can possibly think of to try and get it to loosen up. It's more or less a trap. The next, not too bad, but it's more or less a trap in the feeling I get going down my shoulders. So I don't really take a lot of medicine, and somehow he said, hey, I think we just need to take some ibuprofen and see if that sort of reduces inflammation, and took some of that late yesterday morning, and it made a world of difference last night. Still a little worried when I woke up this morning, and it felt pretty good, and so thankfully all the work we've done and everything I felt, it never got any tighter, and it's actually felt like it's a little bit looser right now. So hopefully we got through the tough of it, and now we're on the downhill side, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, like I said, I didn't know if I was even going to tee it up today. When I woke up, even when I was hitting balls, I still wasn't sure if I was going to tee it up.
What was it one of those then that you have virtually no expectations, and this kind of frees you up in some way?
Yeah, it was a funny. I told my caddy Fuchs, I said, hey, let's just go out there, no expectations, and just enjoy. And I think we did a really good job of that. My game's in a really good spot. Todd Anderson, even with some injuries last week, did some really good work at home. And is it on the swing, and is it fully taking hold? No, but I felt really good with what we're trying to do and our process. And so I was more into that, not really too worried about, the outcome or the scores, and just trying to make really good golf swings. And I did a really good job of that today.
We don't have shot link for the North. Were there any bombs today? What are the highlights?
Oh man, I hit it really good. I mean, I think the longest putt I made was probably on my second hole. I made it from about 25 feet, maybe 20, 25 feet. Everything else was, inside 10 feet, inside 15 feet. Hit some really good iron shots, which I haven't done well the last couple of years. My iron game's really been holding me back, and so it was nice to see some of the work, like I said, we did last week come to fruition this week. So, yeah, I just played really solid. Really didn't put myself in any trouble, and just, shot a really good golf score today.
Got to ask you about a couple of years ago. You had an 80, 60 something.
Yeah, I shot 80 last year on the
right?
South course.
Was it
round.
just last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, 2 years ago. 2 years ago,
right?
I shot 80 on the South course, and I came back with 69.
Yeah.
So.
What does that say about the South course?
Oh, it doesn't say. I mean, it says I hit the ball like I played like crap. That's what it said. I mean, other than that, I think it's the highest I've ever shot on that South course. I usually play it pretty well. Mm-hmm. I love the South course. It's one of my favorite courses on tour. But unfortunately, when you're not hitting it very good and you're not making any putts, we can look like the average golfer, which is what I think all the average golfers like to see once in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that obviously the South course is able to do that to you if you're not on your game.
What do you think of Rahm's 6 under on the South course? What kind of tone does that set?
I have no clue what anyone shot today, so that's the first I've heard. Doesn't shock me. I mean, I think he won a U.S. Open on that course last I checked. He's a really good player. There's a reason why he's #1 player in the world. If you looked at what he's done over the last, really since he probably won here in, 2018 maybe it was, 2019. He's been a world-class player, and it's no shocking that he's #1. He drives it well, one of the best drivers in the game today, really good iron player, has a really good short game and putts it well. I mean, what else is there to say about his game that people don't know about him? He's #1, and so shooting 6 under out there is very capable. And the greens are really good, the best I've ever seen them. So, I think that helps out with being able to make putts. They're not soft, and the pose not, showing too much. They're really firm. They got a nice pace to them. So hopefully they're in, good shape again for us tomorrow.
Is that your MO, not to watch the leaderboard, not to look at it? And was there a point where maybe you allowed yourself today when you realized that you're having a really good round?
No, I mean, there's only maybe, I think, 1 or 2 leaderboards out in the North Course. It's a little bit easier to see leaderboards on the South Course because they're there every couple holes and they're right there in your face. So I have no problem looking at leaderboards, whether sometimes I don't care to look at it and other times I like to just sort of gaze and see what everyone's doing. So what kind of mood I'm in, and yeah, I mean, that's just what I do.
Huh, Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback, like the dog.
I'm really a cat guy. So what is it?
The best feeling and longest metalwoods you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period.
Here at Boyne Golf, each course tells its own story. About friends, about challenges, about unforgettable moments. This is Michigan's Magnificent 10. Golf as pure as it gets.
The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf.
Even though we're in Texas, we don't believe that bigger is always better. At Ben Hogan Golf, we believe in something called micro-manufacturing, a concept Mr. Hogan taught us long ago. It's a belief that handcrafting golf clubs one at a time to your exacting specifications is the reason we make some of the best quality and best performing equipment in the world. And we don't believe in big prices. That's why we only sell directly to you at benhogangolf.com.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. Welcome back. Alex Trujillo is a senior sales manager for Flyscope. And Alex, you brought a sample up with today. We did a piece, I don't know if you caught the live coverage of the pieces that we were doing on Golf Channel, but this was incredible in terms of the feedback that we could get for this and the flexibility and the fun and the learning and the improvement that golfers can have at home. Could you talk to us about what this is?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Flyscope Meevo Plus with our addition of the Pro package, which now gives the user over 40 data parameters. So you can see things such as your club path, your face angle, angle of attack. Comes with simulation, so if you want to put it in your garage or you have a simulator room at your house, gives you up to 6 golf courses that come free with no subscriptions. Some of them include Bay Hill, the Belfry.
Oh, nice.
So it's really neat. I mean, it's been very popular, and it's just, we pride ourselves on performance data you can trust, and
look at all the data points on the TV side that we can see.
That's it. Yep. So
talk to us about those data points. Which ones they are specifically?
So carry distance, club speed, ball speed, smash factor, spin rate, club path, face to target, angle of attack. So this unit is a is what we call a limited flight tracking radar. So we track the ball for a certain portion, then we run a ballistic model. And then of course we have our upper tiered unit, which is the X3. That's a full tracking radar. But yeah, we take in weather information. You can use standard sea level conditions. So you can, the golfer can really start to understand exactly what's going on with their golf game. We like to call ourselves the MRI of the golf swing.
That is very cool. Now, for most of the country, at least the eastern half of the country, I don't even know if you're aware of this, a massive snowstorm coming. Are you aware of that on the East Coast? Yeah.
It's going to be very cold.
So, I mean, I know you live in Orlando, so in fact, tomorrow, I think even the high here, no, on Saturday, I mean, even the high here is going to be in the mid-40s. So there's a big storm coming in. How exciting is something like this at this time of year when most of the country is snugly under a blanket of snow, that people can still be really playing, but at least working on their game?
Absolutely. Indoors, you need about 16 feet of total space. You need a net and a mat, and you're off to the races. You can play golf courses. You can just work on your game. You can do skills combines, so you can work on different yardage bands. So you don't have to go out there in the cold.
It's awesome. Where is this available? How do people get more information?
So they can go to Flyscope.mevo.com. They can find it on there, visit our website, or through our social media platforms.
All right, so you can see on the TV side that we've been running all the videos for Flyscope Meevo Plus so that you guys can make sure that you dial in your game just perfectly with the incredible amount of information that is available. Now, to that point, just before I let you go, when you have that information, do you help guide people in terms of, whether we're talking about smash factor or angle of attack, et cetera, et cetera? Not everybody knows what that means, and thus, if we can educate them on what that means, we can help them dial it in a little bit more.
Absolutely. They can go to flyscopeelearning.com. We have free courses on there, as well as some paid content that they can, if they decide to get a little more into it. Tons of information. And they can always reach out to us as well. We're always happy to help our customers and educate them.
How is it going?
Very, very well.
Jeez, I love it. Alex, thank you very much for your time, man. Very exciting product to bring out to the marketplace. And there's no doubt that a lot of people are not only going to have fun with this thing, but they're going to get a lot better with it as well. More of the Fairways of Life show coming up after these words.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. Ireland is home to over 400 courses, including a third of the world's natural links and a selection of exceptional championship courses in amazing locations, as well as hosting the prestigious Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup, and the Open. Experience golf like you never have before from Royal Portrush, Royal County Down, Portmarnock, Lahinch, Ballybunion, or Tralee. Let yourself be embraced by the culture and history and feel the warmth of the Irish people, who will make you feel as though you have not left home, but returned to it. For more information, log on to Ireland.com. The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf.
Nestled amongst the hills of the Hoosier National Forest resides a classic American destination, the French Lick Resort. Experience the ultimate in golf at the Pete Dye course at French Lick, voted #1 course in Indiana on Golf Week's Best You Can Play for 10 years in a row. The Donald Ross course at French Lick has been named Indiana's #2 course in Golf Week's Best You Can Play rankings every year since 2011. Come experience old world opulence amid modern comfort served with Midwestern charm. Visit FrenchLick.com.
Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today, and they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period.
I've actually never defended at the same golf course, I think. Yeah, so.
That's fun.
So, fun fact. I played the front nine yesterday, and we played here 2 years ago, so I kind of know the golf course a little, but I think the forecast for this week is not supposed to be great, so we'll see how it goes.
How much did last week prepare you for the weather in the unseasonably cold weather in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 days were really nice, and then obviously the weekend got a little chilly, but I whipped out the big jacket. But yeah, it was nice. It's a hard golf course to kind of start the year off, but it was a lot of fun, especially that kind of event. It was kind of an easier take into the first event of the year, but it was a lot of fun, and I had some good moments and I had some iffy moments too, but in all, I hope I can ride the good into this event.
You mentioned never defending at the same golf course. That'll happen later this year, but what have those experiences been like in the past, to show up at a different venue but still try to draw those good vibes that you had the year before?
Yeah, I don't really, I guess I don't really know because I've always defended at a different golf course. I guess in a sense the expectations are a little lower just because you are defending at a different golf course. But, you know, I'm just going to try to embrace it and see where it takes me.
Yanni, I'll throw it to you.
Do you embrace the status of being the number one player? Obviously, it's where you want to be. Is there a certain pressure to it? How do you approach that status?
I don't really try to think about it too much. I've said it a couple of times, but I always say that good golf kind of solves everything. You know, you just try to focus on the ball and the golf course, and hopefully, you know, you can get somewhere with that. But I try not to focus on kind of being the number one player in the world because it's as bad as it sounds, it's a temporary thing, right? So what you're trying to focus on is being present out there, having fun, and enjoying the round.
What is the relationship you and your sister have during a round? Like, obviously, if you're not paired together, you're probably checking each other's scores, but like, do you sort of recap it at the end of the day? How are you sisters, you know, outside of the round you're playing that week?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm on the golf course, that's the reason why I check the scoreboard so much, is to see where Jess is at. And regards to if we talk about our round after, sometimes, most of the time we don't. We just try to kind of take our mind off of it and kind of enjoy our dinner together because we're like automatic dinner buddies. Every night we have dinner together and we just talk about anything probably but golf usually.
John, you got anything?
Sorry, I was late to the party.
You're good.
There you go, buddy.
Well, I didn't have anything, but I'll just randomly ask you something.
Okay.
Have you talked about Madeline yet? I know that you know, she hasn't won since she was here, but a lot of people have some great things to say about her game. And she says she's awestruck, you know, for the most part, still being, you know, kind of a rookie in her head. But do you see her maturing?
So I actually played my Symetra Tour year with her. So I've been kind of on tour with her for now 6 years. So when we were on Symetra, she was just dominating out there. She played really well. You know, she hits it far, she hits it high, and she putts it well. I think she's a really solid player. But yeah, I mean, I think the golf course is playing a little different than it was 2 years ago, but you never know. I mean, I think she's an amazing player, and she has a bright future ahead, too.
You got your year started last week at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. Obviously, the celebrities and former athletes, a big part of the event. Was there any advice that you received from anybody or anything you learned from anyone in particular last week?
I actually got a really nice message from Josh Donaldson. I'm just going to keep that to myself, but he was one of the people that reached out to me. But I've played that event since it started, so it's been really cool to see how much like the friendship has grown with the people that I've seen every year, and it's been a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy that event, and you know, it's always a goal to get back to that event.
You mentioned that the course is playing a little different from some of the players and caddies. What I heard about this course was that it's a bombers course. If it is playing different, does that not suit bombers like yourself, or what's different about it?
Well, it all depends on the wind and the forecast that we're going to have. Yeah, I think there's an advantage to hitting it longer out here. But I think the greens are a little bit slower, and I think they're trying to keep them slower just because the wind forecast is supposed to be really high Friday afternoon and Saturday. So, and I think the fairways are a little bit fluffier than they were last time. So I think they're just trying to play towards the weather aspect of it. But I do see a big advantage to hitting it longer.
We'll go to Zoom. Greg, if you can unmute.
Sure. Hi, Nellie. I wanted to ask you about your schedule and how you go about setting that. Given your status now as world #1, obviously every tournament would love to have you. How do you go about setting your own priorities versus wanting to support the tour and support every event?
Yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer starting in Florida, 3 weeks. You know, I can drive everywhere. That's really nice. I played the PNC event in December, so I didn't really have an off season. So to be fresh going into the rest of the year, you know, there's so many events. Summers usually are the biggest part of the year with so many majors. I decided to take Asia off, to take 6 weeks and start back up on the West Coast. And the main focus always for the year is to stay healthy and to stay fresh. And, you know, I usually play around 22 events a year, and that just to me works. I don't try to go over 4 events in a row. I try to take max 3, maybe sometimes 4, and then take a week off just so I'm fresh, because, you know, when you travel so much and you play so much, your body changes and it kind of leads to injuries too. So staying fresh throughout the year is a main goal.
Yeah. So I'm in Las Vegas, and I wanted to ask, last year you skipped the match play for the inaugural event. I was wondering if there was a reason for that, and if you have any plans to play it this year.
So yeah, I usually, the past 2 years, I've kind of skipped the event before the U.S. Open, and I've MC hammered twice. So this year I'm planning to play the Vegas event just to see if my luck changes a little. So I am planning to play the Vegas event.
Great. What did you hear from your peers about the Vegas event?
They've just said the golf course was amazing. It was really pure and great condition. And I think that'll be a good lead up into the Open as well, playing a tough golf course.
So we are at the 2022 PGA Show. It's been a long time that we've been coming to these PGA shows. It's the first time for my guest. Peyton Lobachin is sitting next to me. Nagini is the name of her company. And Peyton, your company, you're wearing it on your hand, we can reveal it here, is new to the industry.
Yes.
What is it? How did you discover it, invent it, and what's the reaction been?
So this is a substitution for athletic tape. So instead of buying rolls and rolls of tape and taping your fingers all the time, you throw all of that away, you slip on one of these neoprene rings, it's a tapered fit, and you're done. It's washable, it's reusable, you never have to buy tape ever again. So this is cost effective, it protects your skin from friction, from blisters, calluses, that sort of thing.
You know, it's interesting because as you're talking about it, my mind is going to seeing Tiger all taped up when he's playing. Ray Floyd used to get all taped up when he's playing. So many players have tape somewhere on their fingers.
Right.
How did this happen? How did you discover that it was time?
So I needed it. So this was built out of sheer necessity. I'm an athlete. I was getting blisters all the time. I've broken all of my knuckles. I needed it. There was nothing out there. You go to every athletic store ever. You go to a golf pro shop. There is nothing out there. So I decided.
Oh, here it is. There's a video running up right now.
Yep, that's my commercial right there. So I'm in many, many markets. I'm not just in golf. And it's been very successful. People really like it. They hate tape. I mean, tape gives you rashes, eczema. It's expensive. You have to buy it once a week. And now you can just
pulls the hair if you have any.
Pulls the hair off of your fingers if you got some hair on those fingers. So this is just way easier. You can wash it, reuse it. It's durable. It's made out of limestone neoprene. So it's the finest neoprene out there. So it's a luxury, awesome accessory.
How do you package it so that when people are in a golf shop, they instantly understand, oh, this is better than the tape, I just can get this?
Our whole slogan is never use tape again. Throw away the tape. Buy one of these rings. So people understand that. So when they come by our booth today, we'll say never use tape again. They're like, oh, perfect. I don't want to use tape. I hate tape. So
and do you have a website where you sell it as well?
I do. It's www.naginibrand.com, and many social medias. Instagram's our favorite, at Nagini_brand. N-A-G-I-N-I.
And you said you've broken every knuckle. Why? What do you do?
I've done everything from beach volleyball to paddleboarding to kayaking to basketball, and I have battered.
You go at it hard.
I go at it a little too hard, and athletic tape just never stayed on. It's wet off.
These sleeves that you're wearing right now, I assume that they come in different sizes?
Yes, we have small, medium, and large. We have many different colors, but the golfers seem to like the red rings because it's the easiest color you can see out of your peripheral vision, so it helps them with their swing.
Have you thought about jazzing this thing up a little blingy?
Oh, we can bling anything out. I love a little blingy. Always.
I was just thinking about it because I'm sure my wife would like these, but I was like, if we could do a little, what do they call them, bedazzles? Is that what they call them?
Yeah. Do a little Swarovski something.
Yes, I like where you're going.
It would be a little bit more pricey, but yeah, we could do that.
What was the reaction so far here at the PGA Show?
Everyone seems to love it. It's brand new. There's nothing else like it in this entire PGA merch show. So when people see it, they're like, why didn't I think of that?
And for those of you that are with us on the television side and the radio side, I'll describe it to you. We're looking at the website, and you can see these different sleeves on different fingers. I'm assuming some people go, all out if they need it.
Yeah.
Does it also help for someone that maybe they're dealing with a little bit of arthritis or some kind of restricted movement?
Yes. So we've had a lot of people come by the booth today who said, man, my fingers and my joints just hurt so bad, and this really helps. So the ring is actually a tapered fit, so it really compresses your fingers, so it gets that blood circulation going. So it's perfect for rheumatoid arthritis.
And again, on the TV side, folks, for a second there, Andrew, you had up the packaging, because I was asking about how it's packaged, because obviously that message has to sell in the golf shop so that people quickly understand it. And it looks really cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, very, very cool the way that it is. It's really neat to me to have a new company here, and the fact that you're hopeful that this is going to be well received, the fact that it is getting well received, the fact that you're not limiting yourself to golf.
Right. Well, we didn't start out in golf.
Where did you start?
We started out in beach volleyball. I actually make another ring. It holds 2 fingers together, so for collateral damage. So when you block a volleyball going 90 miles per hour, it doesn't rip your pinky off. So that's another one of my products. So I started there, and then I got into paddleboarding, got into kayaking, got into basketball.
Are the wear marks on a person's hand particular to a sport?
It depends on the athlete.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it depends on how they hit the ball, how they hold the grip of a club. It really depends on the athlete. So
it's kind of the world. There is no universe. Is your potential?
Yes, it should be in every sports club, every big sports shops, because it's for many markets for all athletes. So.
Have you thought about going into lifting and stuff like that too?
Yes, I have a lot of bodybuilders that use them, a lot of people who do CrossFit that use them. So yeah, they'll use it for kettlebells, dumbbells, that sort of thing. So the possibilities are endless with this product.
It's awesome. I'm glad, and I hope your success is with the product as well. Peyton, it's called Nagini is the name.
Nagini brand.
And I'm sure a lot of you watching are thinking right now that would be perfect for me, so I don't hurt as bad, or I don't have to tape myself up. Either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
We wish you the very, very best.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be back with more from the 22 PGA Show after this.
Huh, Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback. Like the dog?
I'm really a cat guy. So what is it?
The best feeling and longest metal woods you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period.
Here at Boyne Golf, each course tells its own story. About friends. About challenges. About unforgettable moments. This is Michigan's Magnificent 10. Golf as pure as it gets.
The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf.
Even though we're in Texas, we don't believe that bigger is always better. At Ben Hogan Golf, we believe in something called micro-manufacturing, a concept Mr. Hogan taught us long ago. It's a belief that handcrafting golf clubs one at a time to your exacting specifications is the reason we make some of the best quality and best performing equipment in the world. And we don't believe in big prices. That's why we only sell directly to you at benhogangolf.com.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game. One of the great things about being at the PGA Show is running into old friends that represent places like this. You're looking at video from Boyne, and there's 3 resorts that we go up to in northern Michigan, and it is absolutely stunning golf. Now, it's more than golf, but the golf is stunning. There are 10 different golf courses spread out amongst the resorts, made by world-class and Hall of Famers in their own right. And look at this. I mean, that easily could be someplace like you were in Scotland instead of in northern Michigan. People are shocked to find out that at the middle of the country, there is this type of choice and variety in the game of golf. And that variety is not limited to the golf courses. You can see it in terms of the options of where you stay. That was Bay Harbor you just saw a glimpse of. That's where we stayed last time. We had our fan trip up there. All of it is fantastic, just like the opportunity to catch up with dear friends. Bertie Friedrich is joining us, who's the Senior VP of Golf Operations at Boyne. He's also a Hall of Fame member himself, duly such. Bernie, it is good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. You know, upright in second air. That's all I can hope for at my age anymore.
I don't know about that. I bet you've already looped around this place about 10 times.
Yeah, exactly.
How many PGA shows have you gone to?
Well, at least, 45.
Whoa.
40 probably. I mean, I went when it was in Disneyland, Disney World, and in Miami too, before it was even here.
Holy cow, you went down
under a tent in the old days. So yeah, it's quite a few.
We're speaking about quite a few. How many years have you been at Boyne?
At Boyne, I've been 46 now.
46 years at Boyne, and I asked him before he sat down if I was allowed to share with the world the news. I actually knew it when we were there last time, but Ken Griffin forbade me from saying anything about it, so I had to just kind of mumble. You're about to retire.
Well, I don't know if it's...
Are you fighting that phrase?
I said it, and my owner, Stephen Kircher, says, no, you're not. And, no, you're not. You're just going to go do something else. I like 46 years, I mean, what golf professional is at one spot for 46 years
That's
anymore
for sure.
these days. And you know, the last couple of years are hard with employees, and you know, we have 500 members, 2 memberships. We have 8 golf pros, 9 superintendents, and you know, 150,000 rounds on those golf courses and stuff like that. That's a lot. That's a lot anymore. And so I'm moving on, and we got hired a golf course architect, and we went through all our courses to try to make 10-year plans on
Excellent.
each one, to
Excellent.
how we can improve each one of these golf courses a little bit at a time, and you know, and have that. So pretty smart of me to do that, wasn't it?
Yes,
Ahead
it
of time.
was pretty smart of you to do that.
So
ahead of
that
time.
I kept having a job for a while, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
BoyneGolf.com is where you can get more information on everything that I've been discussing with you and Bernie was just mentioning. I like to do this because I'm assuming that every day when I'm waxing about Boyne and sharing my love for the place, that people are aware, but new people come in, new audiences come in all the time, and we're around the world. Could you tell the world, how would you define Boyne Golf?
Well, we have a mission statement that I'll talk about in a second, but you know well, I'll talk about it now. One of our goals is people that come are staying longer than a weekend. You know, they're coming for a longer period of time to play different golf courses. So our intent is to have each one of the facilities are cut the same height, fairways, and you know, the greens are close to the same speed, so you don't have a variety of different things, so people can move around. Well, how I say Boyne is uniquely different because each golf course is different. Mm-hmm. And a lot of resorts have, you know, an A golf course and a B golf course, and we don't have very many Bs. And it's getting, for northern Michigan, it's getting pretty well known around the country. As Ken could tell you, that you know, we're getting people from all over the country and Canada and even some in Europe and stuff. And by the way, those people that come from longer distance, they stay longer and play more golf. Yeah, so it's really a good area. And like I said, each golf course is uniquely different.
And when you talk about, you know,
Like
yeah, this is brilliant, isn't it? Looking at this, the links course by Arthur Hills. But when you talk about the changes that each golf course has, obviously there's challenges too, but you meet them in terms of general condition of the golf course, speed of the greens, which I could attest to the fact is beautiful. They roll beautifully and they're fast on top of that. And then that 10-year plan about where you're going to tweak over a decade period, et cetera. It's not just the golf courses. You guys are doing so much with all of the facilities.
Yeah, we have a 20, 30-year plan for each of the facilities and stuff, and laid it out what the next changes are going to be, hotel room changes, restaurant changes, different variety of things that you can do on the golf course. And we plan on building another one at Boyne Mountain, by the way, that we had planned for a number of years. So we're looking forward to doing that as well.
Who's the architect on that?
He's no longer alive, but he laid it out for us.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to make me guess? Because I would guess Pete Dye.
That's a good guess.
Is it Pete Dye?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Good guess.
Is this breaking news? Is there a timeline on this?
Well, there's not a timeline yet. One of the timelines is to fix up those 2 golf courses down there and then build it. So might be a couple of years away on that.
Wow,
yet,
that is very cool.
Yeah, but
indeed.
he came and he laid it out, and we cut the center lines, and they're still there. So we'll hopefully get somebody of Pete's former crew or something like that and help us do that.
Yeah, they definitely, especially the shaper is going to be the most important individual you have there.
Right.
To that point, is there a particular style to this course? Because obviously you would have been involved.
Yeah, it's not railroad ties. So it's not that type of golf course. It's more of a northern Michigan type golf course than some of the other golf courses.
Views, deep forest, etc.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
Now, for you personally, as you transition to what is the next chapter for you at Boyne, when you're going to look back on these nearly 5 decades that you have spent at Boyne Golf, especially when you're watching the dancing embers and maybe having a drink in hand, what are the primary memories that are going to come back to you?
The team that we put together and the longevity of some of the golf pros and superintendents that are there. That I'm really proud of, the professionalism of all of the staff, and Josh Richter. He is taking over my position. He's been there 19 years. I mean, he came out of and did an internship. I mean, we have, I think, 4 people that came to us from different parts of the country to do internship and are still with us. So
Wow.
I think that's probably the team we put together. All of us put together is great, and I think that's as good a team as, in any division in our company. So I'm pretty proud of that.
It is brilliant. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you one other question too, because we talk so much about the golf side, but you're not just about golf. As we've shown in some of the videos that have been rolling, folks, Boyne is very much about winter sports and skiing as well.
Well, that's we have 10 ski resorts around the country, from Maine to Vancouver, British Columbia, and our founder, Everett Kircher, is, he started golf for the simple reason to keep employees on a year-round basis. And that is, that's even more true today than it was, in 1965. But that's how it started. That's how golf got started. And then as I got done with the Last Supper, serving the Last Supper, then I started working for Boyne. So
at least you were a server at the Last Supper. That's a safer place to be. As how that one turned out. So we're excited for you.
Yeah, I'm nervous too, by the way. I go to work.
I sense it.
I go to work every single day, and I played. Last year was very busy golf-wise, but I think I played 6 rounds of golf, 16, 18 holes of golf last year, and hopefully I can do more of that this year.
Yeah, I hope you can do more than that too. Maybe they'll let you be a starter or something like that.
Well, or mow the greens or something like that.
Why not? It's not a bad thing.
No.
You're a member of the PGA. You're here at this PGA show. You've been coming to this PGA show for a long time as well. And I guess the only way to wrap this up, Bernie, is not only to say thank you for Boyne Golf. BoyneGolf.com again is the website, but say thank you, as I mentioned, for Boyne Golf. But to you, you're in the Hall of Fame for a reason. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
For everything that you've done.
Yeah, and nice being associated with you.
It is. You're a legend, my friend. We'll be back with more from the 2022 PGA Show after these words.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. Ireland is home to over 400 courses, including 1/3 of the world's natural links and a selection of exceptional championship courses in amazing locations, as well as hosting the prestigious Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup, and the Open. Experience golf like you never have before from Royal Portrush, Royal County Down, Portmarnock, Lahinch, Ballybunion, or Tralee. Let yourself be embraced by the culture and history and feel the warmth of the Irish people, who will make you feel as though you have not left home, but returned to it. For more information, log on to Ireland.com. The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf.
Nestled amongst the hills of the Hoosier National Forest resides a classic American destination, the French Lick Resort. Experience the ultimate in golf at the Pete Dye course at French Lick, voted #1 course in Indiana on Golf Week's Best You Can Play for 10 years in a row. The Donald Ross course at French Lick has been named Indiana's #2 course in Golf Week's Best You Can Play rankings every year since 2011. Come experience old world opulence amid modern comfort served with Midwestern charm. Visit FrenchLick.com.
Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period. Ricky Fowler was 6 under in the first round at the Farmers Insurance out at Torrey. And Ricky spoke afterwards, a long press conference from Ricky. We'll give you a couple of minutes to find out what the flavor was.
Definitely pleased. Typically starting on what would be a Thursday, but today Wednesday. I would say I've struggled to get out of the gate a little bit, and did a good job of kind of focusing on the things that we're working on, being deliberate, swing-wise, and staying patient in there. Got a little quick on a couple. Missed a couple fairways there. I got a little out of position, but other than that, I felt like I did a good job mentally, just kind of continuing to move forward out there. North Course is one that you should play a little bit better on, but it's also one that can jump up and bite you pretty quickly if you're out of position.
How disappointing were you after last week, your first start of the year, and does having Maya and Allie make it easier to get through the weeks like that?
Obviously I went there wanting to play well. 2 years ago I was in the final group, and I've really enjoyed playing the Amex. It's a great way to kind of start the West Coast. Typically, really good weather and good conditions. It's other than the wind that we got a little bit there a couple of the days, typically it's pretty mellow. You're able to kind of see where the game really is, just because the conditions are so great. I'm definitely bummed with how I played, but I was able to get some good work in on Sunday and then drive over here, and then continued that on Monday and Tuesday, and just kind of got ready to get back, where we want to be. Like I said, not the way we wanted to play last week, but took it as, used it in the right way and took a step forward.
Does Maya help you get through struggles like that?
It doesn't matter, what happens out here, win, lose, whatever. You feel the same when you go home. See a little smile from her. It doesn't matter what happened previous to that.
What was the biggest difference today than last week?
I felt like I was swinging at about 60% and took about 3 hours to get to the top of my backswing. That would roughly be the feelings of it. Just tried to be, like I was kind of talking about, a lot more deliberate, not trying to rush things. I got a little quick on a couple transitions out there. I lost a couple to the right, but other than that, I felt like I did a good job. Trying to trust a little bit more stuff on the greens, putting. Sometimes when I'm looking up at the hole, and it can you can start working one way or the other because it looks or feels a certain way. So trying to trust the line a little bit more and roll that versus letting the eyes dictate what it may feel like once you're over the ball.
So you're trying to slow the whole swing down, not just transition, or?
Yeah, just to kind of continue like a good rhythm throughout. So I may not be getting, I'm not necessarily getting full numbers. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to stay a bit more controlled. So for now, just need to make sure the club's, at least in a little better spot and everything's working together a little bit better. I'll be able to create more speed once things feel a little bit more comfortable, but just trying to make sure we are doing things right. Produced a lot of good shots today. Last week I drove it fairly well. I had a couple that were offline, but for the most part it was my iron play that really kind of killed me. And it's a place like that out in the desert, it's not really good to be putting for par. You got to be making birdies out there. So I think we turned it around all right and off to a little better start this week.
6 under isn't a bad start for Ricky Fowler. Let's take a look at the leaderboards. First of all, from the PGA Tour, we take you out to Torrey Pines, and there he is, Francesco Molinari atop the leaderboard alongside of John Rahm at 9 under, world number 1 on the ladder. Jamie Mulligan, who's Francesco's coach, Frankie, he also coaches the Court Assistants. He also coaches Patrick Cantlay, was talking to me about Francesco Molinari. And I actually said to Jamie, I wasn't being disrespectful. I said, so when did he leave Dennis Pugh? And he said, Dennis he's at a point in his life where he doesn't want to travel anymore, etc. And he said the way he phrased it was that Francesco is all in. His words, his phrase, he's all in. And obviously he's playing some very good golf again, and it's nice to see him playing some good golf again for the Open champion at Carnoustie. On the LPGA, this is the way things are looking in the first round. Danielle Kang keeping it going, just keeping on. She won last week, and she's ahead by 2 right now at the Gamebridge LPGA. There is golf going on in Dubai as well, the DP World Tour. This opening round was not complete. They had to suspend it because of light. But there you can see Joachim Hanson at the top of the leaderboard in 7 under par. Paul Eels, who was with us earlier, actually took us down through that leaderboard and gave us an assessment of the various players. Now, this shot that Donna has set up on your television screen, you can see is looking down one of the corridors. We're actually in, you can see the Lyle and Scott sign up on the right. This is actually the apparel section of the show. So the show kind of goes in broad sections beyond, like right on the horizon of that alley that you can see, and you can tell it's getting later in the afternoon. The show opens early in the morning, and as the day wears on, people kind of hang out, but then after a while, they go off for a break or try to play some golf if the weather allows or what have you. The one thing that we are getting is a lot of messages, and I'll get back to the different sections, a lot of messages from people displaying here about how surprised and pleased they are that while the show is downsized because of the pandemic, at the same time, the people who are here are serious about taking care of their business and definitely writing orders. So it's not about tire kickers or people who are simply peering through the window, but these are people who are prepared to do something. And as a result, they're here taking care of their business. So we're about to have another guest join us here on the program in just a second, as we've had a chance to speak with so many. But what I was telling you, if we go back, Andrew, to that shot of the main aisle here in the apparel section, just beyond that, it's a lot of accessories. It's a lot of the travel areas. That's where you're going to find Tourism Scotland. That's where you're going to find Tourism Ireland, as an example. A lot of the hat companies you're going to find in that area, which is so critically important in the game of golf, and the issues of protection, frankly, skin cancer, and why it is so important. And then when you get beyond that, you get more into the main section that a traditional PGA show would be, where you'd find all of the golf clubs and accessories directly related to that, including golf bags and more. And golf bags is the direction that we're going to be taking you here in a moment. Ronan Galvin is about to join me, the founder of Sunday Golf Bags. And Ronan, first of all, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being on the show. This is a pretty cool looking little bag that you have here. Obviously, it's made for a few clubs on a Sunday afternoon. What was the concept?
Yeah, so it's called the Loma Bag, and it was actually named after a par 3 course in San Diego called the Loma Club.
Nice.
So, we were always bringing our big bag, and stuff, and had 4 or 5 clubs in the huge bag, and said, hey, this didn't make a lot of sense. So my background's in product development and golf bag manufacturing.
Oh.
So we went to work and we made a prototype, and we brought it back to the club, and we had during the round we had about 3 or 4 other groups walk over and say, hey, where'd you get that?
Oh, no kidding.
So that's kind of what
and this obviously I'm trying to trigger it here. It's a stand bag, as you can see as well. And then I'm just going to hold this up to the camera so that you guys can see the circumference. How many clubs are you saying this can fit?
Yeah, so we like to say 5 to 6 clubs. I've seen people stuff 7 or 8.
Really?
Yeah, but I think 5 or 6 is comfortable.
And you can see also here, there's a couple of pockets in front, so your tees and your golf ball and your car keys and all the things that that go along with it. There's another one right here that I'm assuming this is for like something to drink or a cigar.
Yeah,
to hold.
you can put your water in there, your cell phone. Here's like a frosty pocket, so it's like a cooler pocket for.
Which one is that?
Beverage.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
Beverage of choice, whatever you want to do in there.
Now you're thinking.
Get the stuffing out. Yeah, and then this pocket here is a ball pocket, and it we can do embroidery or personalize your name, things like that.
And is there also interest in these bags for juniors?
I think it's a little bit tall for juniors.
Yep.
I know we do have some, I think like 12, 13 older kids using it. So yeah.
Because it's a nice light bag for them to carry around without too many clubs in it.
Yeah, or you'll have like a dad with a 4 or 5 year old. He'll take that bag and put his clubs and their clubs in it and walk around.
You know, the angle that I was holding it, I didn't even see the pockets on this side too.
Yeah.
So where did the concept for this particular one come from? Why did you feel like now was the time?
Yeah, you know, like I said, we always hit this little par 3 called the Loma Club.
Yep.
You know, and so we get off work and we play, and you know, it's a nice little.
Did I get you?
No, you're good. It's an hour and a half. Just par 3. I don't know if it's because we're kind of in that industry.
Yep.
You're starting to see a little bit of a renaissance just in terms of like time. Par 3 is a little bit more casual, and I think that's kind of where golf is really going. So it's been exciting.
You know what's exciting too? I'm looking at this little bag.
Yeah.
It even has the padded strap to throw over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Now I can imagine if it's a family, I could see them buying 2 of these, 3 of these, 4 of these, so the family can go out together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tees go up here. As I'm looking at this, I'm discovering more things. You got this little latch right here, so you could put your towel on it.
Got a glove holder there too. See the Velcro with the little icon?
Show it to me.
Right there.
Oh, right here. There's a little glove icon right there in the Velcro, so you can put your glove on it as well. So where do you see all this going?
You know, we launched with this in August of 2020, and it was a great time. I mean, golf, it's a great time to launch a company for golf, you know, but we've been at this for about a year. People say, hey, I love my Loma bag. I just wish you could have like 1 or 2 more clubs and a double strap so then I can take it out to play 18. So big reason for us to come here was to exhibit the Loma XL, which will debut in April. And it's just slightly bigger than this, and you can fit about 8 or 9 clubs and walk a full 18 with it. So going to continue to build out the bag line.
I love it. Is there a material story in this and options in terms of colors?
Yeah, we got, if you go on to sundaygolf.com, we have about 9 colorways. And we try and be on the cutting edge in terms of colors, and we look at take inspiration from what like a Lululemon's doing or some of these other brands, kind of more like lifestyle driven, and try and infuse it into the golf bags.
We can see it right now. We're on the TV side. We're scrolling through the website.
Yeah.
You can see all the different varieties and styles.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really cool. That pink one for ladies or for young women looks really neat too. And look at this one. This is a desert camo. For those of you listening to us on the radio side, that's a really cool look as well.
Yeah, very cool. So the desert camo and then the toasted almond, which we just launched. It's been a big seller too as well.
So what's the reaction been like here at the show?
Great. We were a little nervous coming because it was kind of smaller than in years past, but for a brand like ours with a unique product, it's been phenomenal just in terms of like meeting buyers and reps and things like that. So.
Now, you had said that you were already involved in golf bag design and manufacturing. I've never seen a handle on a golf bag like this. How unique is this?
Yeah, that's the secret. It makes it easy just to pick up and go to the next hole, and it's been very, very convenient.
Are you the only one, to your knowledge, that has?
No, I think there's some like with the same idea, but that's our top. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I think this is great, and it makes, like you said, it makes it so simple just to grab it and to go.
Yeah, it's the handle and then like the bottom, so you can just plop it down and the legs eject out. So instead, there's some other Sunday bags with no stand system.
Yeah.
So you got to drop it down and then like throw it over your shoulder.
Absolutely.
So with the handle and the legs ejecting out by itself, it makes it a lot easier.
That is great. Now, when you were showing at the PGA Merchandise Show, the PGA Show, to give it the proper name in 22, are you also getting clubs that are interested in ordering this for the shops and bringing in the whole variety of the lines?
Yeah, so we started in direct-to-consumer, and then a lot of people just through marketing and advertising. We had a lot of country clubs reach out wanting to set up wholesale accounts, and so In the last year, that's been a big focus. We're
Their logo goes here?
Exactly.
And can this part of the pocket come off so they can, okay.
Exactly, so we do all the embroidery in-house, and online you can put your name on there, or nickname and whatever you want.
It's absolutely fantastic
Yeah.
product. How excited are you for the season ahead then?
Really excited, really. So we took last year, with supply chain issues, it took us a little bit to get our bearings.
Yeah.
But now we've kind of got 3 new bags to the lineup and fully in stock, ready to go.
It's great. And I'm just, as I'm sitting here, I've got my hand in the
full-length
top of it.
divider.
It's a full-length divider in there with the clubs
Exactly.
too. That just everything that you
Prevents
did.
it getting jumbled up and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
everything you did with this little bag is absolutely first
Yeah,
class.
thank you.
It's got all of the luxury accoutrements of a bag that's much bigger and heavier.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were hoping for.
Well, very, very well done,
Yeah,
Gavin.
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I appreciate
Good
it.
to see you. Thank you for taking this by and letting us share. And so much about what we've been talking about over the last few days, folks, is about fun. And this thing speaks to it because it's this tiny little bag that you can grab a few clubs and go out with your friends and family and play that casual round of golf, maybe in the afternoon like we are right now as we come to you live from the 2022 PGA Show. We have more coming up. Stay with us.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. Ireland is home to over 400 courses, including a third of the world's natural links and a selection of exceptional championship courses in amazing locations, as well as hosting the prestigious Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup, and the Open. Experience golf like you never have before from Royal Portrush, Royal County Down, Port Marnock, Lahinch, Ballybunion, or Tralee. Let yourself be embraced by the culture and history and feel the warmth of the Irish people, who will make you feel as though you have not left home, but returned to it. For more information, log on to Ireland.com. The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost. Just golf. Nestled amongst the hills of the Hoosier National Forest resides a classic American destination, the French Lick Resort. Experience the ultimate in golf at the Pete Dye course at French Lick, voted #1 course in Indiana on Golfweek's Best You Can Play for 10 years in a row. The Donald Ross course at French Lick has been named Indiana's #2 course in Golfweek's Best You Can Play rankings every year since 2011. Come experience old world opulence amid modern comfort, served with Midwestern charm. Visit FrenchLick.com. Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG. Nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period. Welcome back to the PGA Show. Matt Adams here with you, and it's been a great week so far. We still have one more day to go officially with the PGA Show, so our coverage on Golf Channel comes on in the morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Dom, I'm not sure how many PGA shows you've been to. What would you say the count is? I don't honestly remember.
Not a lot. I actually think this is my third. I've been doing your show for 15 years, and I think we've done this show 15 times, but I've only actually come to 3, and this is one of them.
Yeah, and
so it's obviously a unique situation, right? Coming off of a weird 2-year weird weirdo hiatus, but obviously it's in pretty big full force here. There's quite a bit of people. We've been showing you that live shot there of kind of people milling about. There's a lot of commerce happening. I've had to spend a lot of time in this fashion lounge area, which is where we're broadcasting from, setting stuff up. There's a lot more, now that we're on the TV side, there's so much more going on, and there's so much more equipment, just more stuff. So it takes longer to do everything. But I have had the chance to walk around and see a few things. I got a bite to eat. They have a barbecue stand. It almost feels like they put it there for me.
There you go. They probably did, Dominic. Now, this show, we've been talking about it throughout the course of the week, that this show is definitely pared down from the show when it's at its full glory, and that is all directly related to the pandemic, but it is awesome that we're here, and there is a lot that is going on right now in terms of the excitement level that's here, the buying that is happening as well. You could see some of the shots of the people milling about and taking in everything that exists in this Orange County Convention Center, which incidentally is absolutely massive. But what I wanted to get back to, Dom, was you mentioned the fact that we're up in the apparel section of the PGA Show because the show's so big that they have various areas and broad generalities. And you and Andrew last night actually did a streaming television broadcast of the fashion show as well, so you guys have been busy.
Oh, very busy. Yeah, they had an event at the end of the show. Finishes on Thursday evenings, or actually Wednesday evening. It was six o'clock-ish when they shut it down. So the last event of the day at the PGA Show was this fashion show at the end of sort of the, I don't know, I mean, how long is it? You've walked it more than me, man. It's like probably a full mile or something all the way down to the end here. And they had this big stage, and they brought out all these models. They were showcasing a lot of the clothes that are here at the PGA Show. Bailey Chambly was like the MC of it all, and there was quite the little crowd here. It was pretty impressive little soiree, as they say. And they had like a dance competition at the end, which was not part of the fashion show, and a lot of people started dancing.
Really?
And I wasn't one of them.
You were one of them, you said?
No, I was not
you
one of
weren't.
them.
You're denying the fact that you were dancing.
Yes, never. No
when there was an impromptu dance competition, can I connect the dots here? Was there an open bar involved?
There was. It wasn't an open bar. I think it was a paid-for bar, but that didn't stop anybody from paying for some booze. So there was plenty of libations going around. It's the end of a long day.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who come to the show,
they are working hard and playing hard, and rightfully so.
They're working their butt off, and they're here for hours and hours and hours. So let off some steam at the end of the day makes total sense to me.
Rightfully so. As you guys know, I've been co-hosting Golf Channel's coverage of this PGA Show all week with Bailey, and she's done a great job. And we have a chance to kind of get out and check out a lot of product. One of the products that I saw and featured on Golf Channel today, I wish I had a photo of it at this time, but I'll describe it to you so that people on the radio side are not at a deficit at this point because I don't have it to show on the TV side. But it was a knife, and the blade part of the knife was at least that long, and then it had a beautiful wood handle with an engraved plate embedded in the wood. But what they do with the blade part, it's about that wide and it tapers down, of course, is they laser etch the blade. And the laser etching of the blade can be of whatever picture you want. So if it's, say, your clubhouse or if it's a particular golf hole, it's now on this knife. And it looked so beautiful. We brought a couple of different samples up onto the set. I also did a thing on the set with 2 Under, the underwear that Ricky Fowler is one of their ambassadors for that. Seth Waugh, the CEO of the PGA of America, came up, and I had a chance to talk to Seth Waugh about the importance of having this event again, because we couldn't remember last year in this format. It was a digital virtual event that we had, and now we were able to have the event in person and get everybody together, and how great that was and how important that is, so that the golf industry, I think, we need a forum when we can share best practices and we can talk about all of the things that are going on, because golf right now, as you guys already know, is absolutely booming. In fact, what's happening with golf now is bigger than at any other time in the history of the game. That's how significant this is, so that we have this opportunity to get together and talk about best practices. We have this opportunity to get together and talk about cost, so you can structure things as well in terms of your pricing structure. What's your competition doing? Even right down to inside of this convention hall, you're going to see golf cart options, whether you're buying a fleet or whether you need to order individual ones. You're going to see all of, as you can see on this one, the simulators, which was a huge product area. Technology was a massive area for the show this year. That picture isn't from this year's show, but it is a picture of the technology that exists inside of this building this year and how much that is catching on as well. So the game of golf is evolving, the game of golf is moving, the game of golf is growing, the game of golf is booming, and we need to have a forum to come together. Dr. Jeremy James is joining me right now. He's the founder of Golf Forever. I've never met Jeremy before. It is good to see you, my friend.
Good to meet
Thank you for being here.
Thank
Likewise.
you for having me.
What is Golf Forever?
So Golf Forever is a doctor-designed digital golf fitness and pain relief program.
Okay.
So I had a clinic in Aspen, Colorado for over a decade, treating golfers with chronic pain.
Oh.
And the idea when we founded Golf Forever a few years ago was to replicate digitally what we do in our clinic to try to recreate the experience of coming to see us in our facility.
Okay, so we're running video right now that you guys sent to us. What are we getting from what we're watching here so that it explains it on the TV side and also for the people on the radio side?
So what you're seeing here is some of the clips from our app. You're seeing right there how our app is displayed on multiple devices. So, and you're also seeing our new product, the Golf Forever Swing Trainer, which we just showed. So we just launched our first physical product, and this is the first device that doubles as a golf fitness specific device and also a weighted warm-up club.
And now, is that what you have here in the bag in front of you? Let's take a look at what you brought.
Here you go. You unzip it on this end, and you can see here.
Hold on one second, Andrew. Why don't you come out to the main camera and we'll take a look at this. Okay, there we go.
So the club comes with 2 weighted warm-up heads and a resistance training band. Now this green head gives you a D3 swing weight. The gray head gives you an extra 30 grams. And you can't see it in here, but there's a resistance cord as well, which allows you to anchor this in your door or around any device such as a golf cart.
Okay, let's pull it out here.
Sure.
Let's take it out of the bag. Let's take a look at how it works.
Let's take a look. So,
oh, there's the resistance band.
Yeah,
that's what we were seeing on the video.
And so if you see here, you push this little button, you turn that comes off, you attach the cord.
Okay.
And then you've got your device. Now this is the door anchor. You just slide that into any door, shut the door, and you're ready to work out.
Can I see that? I want to feel it, because when I was looking at the video, this is substantial. There's some weight to this. You can tell that it's made with quality, the gripping as well, and the release mechanism that you had. And I want to back up to it because this speaks to the virtues of what you're doing. When you spent over a decade treating golfers and their pain that they were dealing with, could you give me some broad generalities where it was? Was it all in the back, or was it spread out throughout the body?
Well, back pain is the most common, but you also have knee, hip. But 9 times out of 10, it was because they only did the golf swing, and that's a repetitive asymmetrical movement.
Got it.
If you don't balance that out by working the other sides of the bodies and making sure you're balanced and that your joints are supported with good musculature, you're going to run into trouble, and that's what I saw, and that's why we developed the program.
Now, okay, let's pick it up again so we keep it on camera as we're talking as well. Why did you develop it this way? What are the benefits of what you did?
So it's a great question. So for the first 2 years in our app, we used resistance bands. Most people have used resistance bands at a gym or a PT. But to recreate the forces that happen with the golf swing, you need resistance on the end of a shaft. Because in essence, when you're swinging a club, you're contacting the ball, you're creating that force going through your body. And so we developed this to make our program even more golf specific. So doing different exercises like with this device challenges your core mostly, but also your balance in rotational ways, and you learn to build strength to resist and create rotational force safely.
Great, and should this be done every day? Is there like different types of exercises to do with this?
It's a great question, and we designed our program. So when you sign up for Golf Forever, you take a self-assessment that tells us about your fitness levels, any injuries, etc. And then every day you just click one button to get your workout for the day. And because there's variability of when people want to work out, we design the workouts such that you can do it every day safely. Like one day you'll do rotational power, the next day balance, the next day agility. We're not going to hit the same body parts every day. So you can do it every day, or you can do it twice a week, and it's going to be customized for your body and safe.
What are you hearing back from people that have tried the product in terms of dealing with their individual pain?
Well, I'm smiling because our conversion rate, we have a free trial, and our conversion rate from free trial to paid is over 80%. We have We have a 4.9 star rating on the App Store. And the feedback we've gotten is that I was wondering if we could make something that was close to as good as in person, but what we're finding with the videos that people can do anytime is the results are actually better. I promise you, I know that sounds crazy, but we've built a very effective program for relieving pain and improving your golf game.
What is it like for you as a doctor? What is it like for you as a human being to get the letters from people when you're actually helping to improve the quality of their life?
You're really asking great questions for me, because that's the most important thing. Like, I got into this business originally to help people struggling with pain. There's so much misinformation out there. There's so many people that are told to do the wrong things that suffer needlessly. And the vast majority of people do suffer needlessly. They just needed the right guidance and instruction.
Wow.
So that's my life's mission, and you know, that's what really drives me every day.
I'm curious how many people you save from going under the knife too.
Tens of thousands for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
How can people get more information on it?
So you can go to golfforever.com. On there you can learn about our program. You can also buy the swing trainer. This device comes with 3 months of the program, so you'll automatically get into the program, and we're going to tell you exactly how to get the maximum benefit out of this device.
It's really first class. I'm very impressed. Once I was able to hold it and see it in person with everything you're doing. Love your passion, my friend.
Thank you very much.
And we wish you the very best with everything that you're doing.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing it with it,
Thank you.
Dr. Jeremy. All right, we're going to be back with more to wrap up this 2022 PGA Show from the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando.
Huh, Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback, like the dog.
I'm really a cat guy. So what is it?
The best feeling and longest metalwoods you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer. You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Created without the constraints of time or money, PXG golf clubs are the most technologically advanced available today. And they are a perfect union of art, science, and engineering. And the PXG experience is unlike any you've had before. After you've been custom fit, your clubs will be built to exacting standards and your exact specs in the USA. So when you hear it, you know. PXG, nobody builds golf clubs the way we do, period.
Here at Boyne Golf, each course tells its own story. About friends. About challenges. About unforgettable moments. This is Michigan's Magnificent 10. Golf as pure as it gets.
The Fairways of Life show is live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Fairways of Life apps. We'll take you inside of the game with interviews, news, discussion, instruction, travel, equipment. You'll get it all and so much more. Join us on one of our fan trips to a dream destination, or maybe you'll even win some new golf clubs as part of our monthly giveaways. Download the Fairways of Life apps and subscribe on YouTube now. It's free, live, and 24/7 on demand. No limits, no cost, just golf.
Even though we're in Texas, we don't believe that bigger is always better. At Ben Hogan Golf, we believe in something called micro-manufacturing, a concept Mr. Hogan taught us long ago. It's a belief that handcrafting golf clubs one at a time to your exacting specifications is the reason we make some of the best quality and best performing equipment in the world. And we don't believe in big prices. That's why we only sell directly to you at benhogangolf.com.
Let's face it, there's no better feeling than getting new golf gear, and where you get your golf gear matters. PGA Tour Superstore is America's #1 golf retailer. Whatever you're looking for, they have it. And you can get custom fit. You can shop online or safely in their stores. At the PGA Tour Superstore, you'll always find golf's biggest brands and all the latest equipment right at your fingertips. If you need it or want it, they've got it. Log on to PGATourSuperstore.com to upgrade your game today. We are joined by Alan Grant here to finish up our coverage of the PGA Show. He's a senior golf manager for Event Scotland. It is great to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you.
Which I think speaks to our emotions about seeing everybody here at this show. I mean, how excited is it for you guys to be back?
you know what, we've not been able to welcome people for 2 years with everything that's gone on. And I think hopefully this is a sign that borders are opening and people are welcome back. And you know, I can promise Scotland's ready to welcome everybody with open arms.
I love it, Alan. You've got it's always huge in Scotland, but the Open is coming back to the old course in St Andrews this year, which just is always kind of the frosting on top of the cake. Talk to us about Scotland's perspective with welcoming back the golf tours from around the world and that which lies in store.
Yeah, well, you know what, I mean, the pandemic's created a unique year for us this year with 5 major championships in 5 weeks. So, you know, if you want to come to Scotland and watch the best golfers come and play, it's this summer. We've got the co-sanctioned PGA Tour event, Scottish Open at Renaissance, 150th Open Championship. The Senior Open Championship goes to Gleneagles onto the King's Course, which everybody knows Gleneagles for the Ryder Cups and Solheim Cups, but you know, what an experience that is there. And then a Women's Scottish Open at Dundonald Links and an AIG Women's British Open at Muirfield for the first time, which, you know, any one of those events are big events in their own right, never mind 5 consecutive weeks of them.
It's unbelievable. And the beauty of that is, of course, using professional events of the highest stature, majors, as the template to say this is why golf is great in Scotland, and rightfully it is. However, there's a really critically important message here, and that is that you can play golf in Scotland. So how much is it also about extending your arms far and wide from Scotland and welcoming the world home?
Yeah, you know what, players from Europe, Asia, America will come and play golf in Scotland this summer, and with the border restrictions relaxing and becoming more open with everything, you were ready to. Well, we've had great fun playing our golf courses for the last 2 years, but you know, we've missed everybody.
Yeah.
The courses have missed their visitors, the pubs have missed their customers, and we're ready to welcome people back.
It is beautiful to see it. This looks like we're coming in the back side of the old course there, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a few trees which would, I think that may be Carnoustie.
Oh, is that Carnoustie we're looking at?
So obviously Dunhill Links there every year as well, and you had great women's Open there last year, which you had a great winner as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. How important is it with golf tour operators? I know people can plan their own trips as well, but golf tour operators, et cetera, as there's an announcement coming through as we're chatting away, but getting more information on golfing in Scotland.
Yeah, you know, look, I mean, the challenge is that the bookings from 2020 have all rolled forward. People haven't cancelled bookings, so you know 2022 is looking busy with old bookings, but you know 23, 24, I'd recommend a tour operator. They take the hassle out of finding your golf courses, out of finding your accommodation, help you get around the country. You know, we're a small country, but it can still be quite difficult to get from St Andrews to Castle Stewarts and Dornochs, and you know these guys can just help manage all of that for you and get you there nice and safely and nice and quickly.
You know what else too, Alan, that I like is I like that you alluded to 23 and 24, meaning to say to people, start thinking ahead, start planning ahead. In fact, we have a big trip, Fairways of Life, to Scotland in 23, and we're gonna try to base. I normally go all over the country, but this particular time, because it's central on the old course, I'm going to try to keep people as many nights as possible with their heads in the same pillow in the Kingdom of Fife, and then we'll spread out accordingly from there. But we can't wait. There's so many options.
You know what? From an hour from St Andrews, and you can be pretty much anywhere anyway. So you know that works great. But you know, I think. You know, we've already had a couple of instances of courses this year that have shut their visitor books because of volume. So North Berwick and Dornoch are not taking any more visitors this year. So
can you imagine that?
I know. As you know, who would have ever thought 2 or 3 years ago that we would be closing visitor books? So that, you know, the importance on looking now and booking for 23, 24 is as important as it's ever been. You know, get that holiday booked in and look forward to it.
How much are Claire and Jamie and just the romantic side of Scotland bringing in people that aren't necessarily, maybe they are, but aren't necessarily out there to play golf, but just to take in the wonders and cultures of Scotland?
Yeah. You know what, we've all been restricted from travelling for so long that, you know, Scotland's on the bucket list of many people, not just for golf, but for the castles, for, you know, TV series like Outlander and Harry Potter and things like that. And again, you know, everywhere's, you know, had a really tough couple of years, and they're just so excited to see visitors come back, whether that's from this side of the world or, you know, within the UK itself.
You know, the beauty of that too, which I think it serves to even mention in at this time and place, is that it's a great way to get a trip to, wink wink, right, to get a trip to Scotland, take your spouse along because of all these other things there are to do.
Yeah, well, I think we're seeing much more of that. There's a lot more spouse trips that are coming, and you know, sometimes the the women are playing the golf and the men are going off to the whiskey distillery. Sometimes the men are playing the golf.
I'm not going to judge them for that.
And the women are heading off to visit the castles and see the sights and things. So I think we're starting to see a change in that travel package. It's much less
chill
about
even
about
listening
men.
to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's all fantastic. How excited are you?
Honestly, I think we've had a very difficult couple of years, but I think being here this week, chatting to people about Scotland, telling them, hearing the excitement, we're very lucky that we've got a kind of pressure cooker ready to pop when people are happy to travel, and our courses and our towns and villages will be very busy again very quickly.
I cannot wait. My friend, it is so good to see you. I am glad that the doors are open to Scotland and people once again can take in the wonders of the home of golf and more. Long may it continue, and it couldn't be soon enough after the last couple of years that we had. Thank you for your time as ever.
Thanks, Matt.
Folks, thank you too for your time. It has been great broadcasting from inside of the Orange County Convention Center and this PGA show and sharing the experience with you. You can tell how excited we are that this show is back and how important it is to the industry. So thank you once more for taking the tour with us over the last few days. Goodbye and be well for now.